apologize for not uploading last week. It was Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Sorry about it.
Hopefully the algorithm's not mad about it.
We've messed it up before.
Yeah. And we still haven't recovered from that. I'm never going to financially recover from this. Okay, today we are going to try our hand at, instead of a whole fandom, a specific topic within the fandom. This is our attempt of a deep dive.
Deep dive!
Doot, doot.
Because it's low, deep.
I was thinking like a submarine.
Oh, I like that.
Thanks. I stole it from Bigger Pockets podcast. They have like a submarine noise when they do their deep dive.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, theirs is actually really annoying. Go watch it. Great podcast.
All right, what are we deep diving, Caleb?
This game right here, because it's pretty complicated.
I love Funkos. I don't even have one of those.
I'm just kidding. We are deep diving Horcruxes.
Yay, Horcruxes! Well, yay, Horcruxes.
Yeah. So, without further ado, 100% spoilers for the entirety of the Wizarding world.
Yes. And I will say, guys, Horcruxes themselves come about because of murder. So,
Muck duck.
So yeah, if that is unsettling to you, not like we're gonna deep dive into that explicitly, but just be aware.
Actually, we might.
Actually, we will. Yes and no. It's not like a Criminal Minds episode, but it's more like an SVU, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, TV 14.
TV 14. Yeah.
Or
have a happy episode.
PG-13 is probably more appropriate. Rated T for teen.
We're like Fortnite now. We have a little like exclamation at the front.
Yeah.
All right. So Caleb obviously knows way more than I do about Horcruxes. So
Yes.
Do you want to explain what a Horcrux is?
In short, a Horcrux is a vessel in which you can store part of your soul so that if your body dies, you can be revived through that remnant of soul.
Yeah, it's like a tether or an anchor.
Yes.
Yeah, I read that today and I was like, oh, I really like that definition of it.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. You are anchored to this life now.
Okay, so I was reading some theories and I sort of want to talk to you about it because I sort of am easy to sway when it comes to Horcruxes. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true, that's true, that's true, because I don't really remember the books a lot. So I've written down some notes and I wanted to talk with you about it if you're okay with it.
Yes, absolutely, because I hate most of the Horcrux stuff you find online.
Okay, well, that's where I got all my stuff.
Great. Let's argue.
All right. Well, learn.
Yeah, I will educate you.
Thanks. Okay. First things first. Somebody on Reddit said, and I'm sorry, I should have taken their names, but I was too excited. So
no credit for Reddit.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so they said
I'm a poet and didn't even realize it.
Know it. You didn't even know it.
That's the joke.
I got the joke. Okay, number one. A common theory is in order to create a Horcrux, the supposed wizard or witch would have to commit cannibalism or necrophilia. And one of the examples is Myrtle, Moaning Myrtle. They said that like her body was pretty destroyed, and that's why her parents were upset by it. What are your thoughts?
Where did they say that about Myrtle? Is that in Pottermore or was it in the books?
It was in the books that her body was like damaged beyond repair, and that it had been looked like it was like preyed upon, but Prey.
Wow. I have heard this cannibal theory and I'm 100% on board with it. And
whoa, are you serious? Out of all the theories, that's not the one I thought you were on board with.
Yeah.
Wow, we're already jumping in defeat first. Seriously, why?
Because J.K. Rowling has talked about how it's like disgusting how you make a Horcrux. Like it's not just killing somebody. It's like a heinous act is like what she said, and she won't go into detail of what she like imagines.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I was reading online. People were saying that like for one, it like takes you away from your natural state, like you're no longer human. And that's why people don't like, well, first of all, there's only ever been two wizards in this like fandom that have ever made Horcruxes.
Who's the second
So,
one?
his name, I was actually going to go into it and tell his story, but Herpo the Foul, he's an
Hmm.
ancient Greek wizard. Um, but he was only recorded to have one Horcrux. Um, so anyway, I just assumed that like it was a heinous act, but cannibalism, like I do know that J.K. Rowling told her editors what it was, and her editors were like they almost threw up, is what the report was.
Hmm.
So that's why she's never revealed it because she doesn't want to ruin it.
Interesting.
Really, you're on board for the cannibalism
Well, it makes
thing.
me think it's got to be worse than cannibalism now because, like, you said that her editors almost threw up.
I would almost throw up at cannibalism. Like it's a kid's book. Like if you walk into Barnes and Noble, you can't find it in young adult fiction or even adult fiction. It's in the literal kids section.
Hmm. I didn't
But
realize that.
yeah, that's why I was like, those kid editors probably never were around then. Whoa.
Yeah. And okay. I was gonna wait for you to just bring this up, but since you brought the cannibal thing up, this is honestly my number one like evidence for how Harry is not a Horcrux. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that's always bothered me when people talk about how Voldemort had 7 Horcruxes. No, he didn't. He had 6 because he wanted to split his soul into 7 pieces.
Yeah. Okay, so that was one of my questions.
What? What's the question?
Technically, because of Harry, isn't his soul in 8 pieces?
Technically, because of Harry, his soul is in 8 pieces, but really it's still just in 7 because that, well, no, because that piece didn't die until way later. So yeah,
So
his soul is in 8 pieces, but Harry is not a Horcrux.
what is he considered then?
J.K. Rowling has referred to him as a Horcrux, and she's also said, I did it out of convenience.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's not a Horcrux. Like, and this, you probably also read this, how people think that the Dursleys
Mm-hmm.
are bad people because Harry's a Horcrux and it makes them bad people.
I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the case. They're just bad people.
That would make more sense because technically, like Hermione and Ron probably spent more time around him during the school year. It's like, wouldn't they also be bad if that was a true theory?
Yeah, yeah, and like, yeah, it's just like all that happened was that Voldemort had messed his soul up so much that part of his soul broke off and just latched onto the only living thing, which was Harry.
Interesting. It would make sense because I mean, if like he's already used to splitting his soul, if that was the first murder he had committed after doing that, maybe his like body or soul was already used to doing it and just splinched on its
Yeah,
own.
good use of splinch, by the way.
Thank you. I researched. Okay. I honestly wasn't like expecting you to agree to the cannibalism one so quick. So I had another theory about like the heinous act.
Okay,
I have a theory that it's actually he drinks blood.
that's still cannibalism in my mind.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Somebody said, fast forward if you don't like blood. By the way, guys, right here, go ahead, fast forward like 5 minutes. Um, Somebody said that they looked up like other ancient like shaman spells and stuff like that. And they looked up that there used to be like a ritual because J.K. Rowling like pulls a lot from Greek literature. I mean, all the spells are in Latin,
Mm-hmm.
right? So somebody said that there's this like ritual where they would like bind themselves to the earth by dipping something in blood and then like they would like drink that blood also.
Hmm.
And so that's what everyone thinks has happened is that like, well, not everyone, just what this like theory is that like Voldemort did that instead, is where he would dip it and then drink the blood.
Weird. I think it's actually worse, personally.
I wouldn't be surprised. And honestly, like this has got to be one of the greatest mysteries.
I think you have to eat their heart.
Really.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, now I have a question. When I
What?
was doing my research for Horcruxes, there was a lady that kept popping up, and I think her name is Borda Jenkins.
Bertha Jorkins?
Yeah, who was that?
She is the one. Well, if you're testing my knowledge here, I think she's the one at the start of the Deathly Hallows who's like floating above the table during the Death Eaters thing.
Oh, okay. So there's like a theory that Peter Pettigrew um had relations with her and then they used that body to put Voldemort back into it. And I don't think that that's true in order to get that Horcrux to like bring his body back, but I feel like because J.K. Rowling won't say how Horcrux is made, everyone is going to like the worst case scenario.
Yeah, but Voldemort was back when Bertha Jorkins died.
In the movie, I think in the books, she dies in number 4.
I don't know. I actually started rereading Harry Potter 1 last night, so
Oh,
I
really?
yeah, I can report back. But I think she missing in Harry Potter 4? She might have been. I don't know. I've never heard that theory, and I can't dispute it because I don't remember. Can I go back to my heart thing?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
There's so do you know about Tales of Beetle the Bard?
Yeah, I do.
So I own Tales of Beetle the Bard,
Oh, cool.
and one of the stories in it is pretty messed up, and it has to deal with like basically how this guy wanted to live forever, and he cut his heart out and kept it in a chest.
Like Davy Jones.
Yeah. Um, yeah. So like I kind of wonder, okay, so the Tale of Three Brothers does have like actual Hallows in real life. They might not be as powerful or the same exact things as what's in that story, but I wonder if this other story is also just alluding to like real life dark magic.
It would make sense because, like, here's the thing, right? Like, dark magic is already pretty dark, and they like talk about it in the schools. So, like, think about it: the Cruciatus Curse, Avada Kedavra, and then Imperio. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all of those are like pretty dark, and then the unforgivable curses. But like, Horcruxes was so bad that they took the books out of the libraries, but you could still research the unforgivable curses in the restricted library.
Well, that's where I feel like he did hear about Horcruxes in like he heard about it in the restricted section, but it didn't teach you how to do it.
Tom Riddle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He found out about it, and it was so bad that they didn't want even to find out about it. But the unforgivable curses are supposedly unforgivable, but they were throwing those around willy nilly.
Yeah, but that was also a Death Eater.
I don't know. Harry used Imperio on the Goblin for Gringotts.
Yeah, but I'm saying that like they learned about the unforgivable curses from a Death Eater.
Well, oh, are you talking about
Barty
how?
Crouch Jr. He taught
Yeah,
them the unforgivable curses.
yeah. I guess that's true.
So I mean, they might have been sheltering these kids from it, and then a Death Eater came in and slipped it out there. I don't know, but
I
yeah,
don't know.
like Horcruxes definitely are way worse than the unforgivable curses, and they're unforgivable.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like, just that like type of magic alone would be so dark.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, I have a story for you.
Okay.
And it's a theory. So I'm just going to read it word for word because I sort of wanted to talk about it. Okay. According to um, Harry Potter fandom legend, One of the most famous Patronuses of all time was a lowly mouse, which belonged to a young wizard called Ilias. Ilias cast the Patronus charm when his village was being attacked by the dark wizard, uh, Rasadagzan, and his army of the Dementors. Despite the mouse's diminutive size, it shone with a brilliant light, bringing the Dementors to a halt as it nimbly moved through the ranks of the fleeing villagers. Enraged, Razagzand decided to enter the fray himself. He tried to summon a Patronus to ward off Ilias's mouse. However, Radixan failed to remember that only the pure of heart could produce a Patronus. Thus, for the first time in history, it revealed what happened when a competent but unworthy wizard or witch attempted the spell. Maggots shot out of Radixan's wand and quickly devoured him as they engulfed his entire body. The villagers then hailed Ilias as a hero. But suppose you're a wizard of such dark skill, power, and sheer selfish narcissism, a Voldemort, let's say, and you have split your soul with a murder and you make a Horcrux, the thrill of killing, mutilation, and living forever are your happiest memories. So you cast a spell similar to Expecto Patronum, but what comes out isn't a cute little glowing bunny or otter. No, you're casting your own soul from your body, or at least a piece of it, which takes the form of some vile, disgusting thing like a Tom fetus or the eye in the locket, something twisted, for example, and you bond it to the receptacle. And perhaps the first time Tom did it, he was easily able to control the soul. Remember that for Radixan, the Patronus manifested as maggots which ate him, but each successive time sinking deeper and deeper into this evil. He would have battled with his Patronus is in quotations, which is why his body slowly becomes twisted and vile, and why the process is so gross Rowling didn't want to reveal it. One also wonders if this involves snakes somehow, or if Voldemort's version of maggots is a snake.
Where did you pull this story from?
Reddit.
So it's just someone's.
No, he had like a connection.
Okay, but like I've never heard this story. That's what I'm saying. Like, is it from like the archives of Pottermore or like what?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up again, but
How do you spell Ilias?
Illius. You found him already?
Well, yeah, I just typed in Ilias mouse and it came up. And 2015 is the earliest. The whole
Yeah.
process of, I mean, yeah, there is a spell involved in making a Horcrux. It'd be kind of weird if it's Expecto Patronum.
I don't know if it is Expecto Patronum. Somebody like translated it to be close to it, and I didn't write it down because that was like way too deep for me a little bit, to be honest. Because like he went into like the theory of like cannibalism again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it would make so much sense why she names them Death Eaters. Like, why are they called Death Eaters?
Oh, yeah.
And even when you summon the mark on the arm, like when they summon the mark, the first time you hear it, the translation of the Latin literally means to bite death.
Mors Mordra.
Yeah. So it's like a literal, like, there's so many clues that there has to be something that has to do with like consuming death. Now, I don't know if that's like physically like cannibalism or like allowing the death to take hold of part of your soul or something. I don't know. It's just all the clues are there, but she's never explicitly said it.
Yeah, I bet it's cannibalism.
Okay, but what did you think of that story? How closely related? And that's why Expecto Patronum is so big in the like fandom.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard that story before in my life, so I don't know if it's just some fan fiction that found its way into the Harry Potter fandom Wikipedia page.
But hypothetically speaking, if it were true, how do you feel about it?
Um, well, okay, the story alone, it's good, but to connect it to Horcruxes, I feel like it doesn't work.
How so?
Like, I mean, this dude is like literally casting Expecto Patronum, and then maggots come out and eat him, so he's dead. So, I mean, there has to be something entirely different to make a Horcrux. Like, it could be a similar process where it's like you like think about the death and how the death makes you happy, to like
Mm-hmm.
isolate your piece of soul, and then you put that piece of soul into your Horcrux.
Oh, interesting.
But I don't think it's like expecto patronum. Also, you would think that expecto patronum could kill a Horcrux then.
Yeah, although I did learn this. This is interesting to me, and I didn't know this. You know, number seven, part two, when Goyle does that fire spell.
Fiend fire, yeah.
I didn't know that that spell can kill a Horcrux.
Yeah, that's what killed the Horcrux.
Well, in the movie, I guess I just didn't read the book well enough. But in the movie, he like stabs it with the basilisk fang and then he kicks it into the fire.
Yeah, and I think that's just because they didn't want, they've already explained that basilisk venom would destroy it beyond repair. Um, the heck? Am I still working for you?
Yeah, your voice is just fine.
My computer
I
just
mean,
pulled up greatest soccer players quiz on the internet, and I've never, I don't know.
that's so funny. Yeah, no, your voice is fine. You're like a little glitchy, like your voice will come out first and then you'll be like,
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my computer.
but honestly, your voice is fine. So I say we
Okay,
just keep going.
so anyway, the basilisk fang, they've already established in the movie that basilisk venom will destroy a Horcrux. And they explained that the basilisk venom is on the sword, which is how they destroy the locket. I think they're just trying to avoid more exposition about like how fiend fire killed the Horcrux.
Okay. So really that was just more fan service of like, hey, we only have so much time.
Yeah, not necessarily fan service, but just like easy storytelling.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Um, and I used to know more about fiend fire. Like I don't I think Goyle just didn't know how to control it. He didn't know how to stop it. So then it just consumed everything. Because I mean, if you think about it, like it should have gone beyond the room of requirement, which it did destroy the room of requirement,
Like it's like done.
I think.
Okay, well let me ask you this. Um, Dumbledore, one of the greatest wizards of all time. Why didn't he use it?
Fiend fire,
Yeah.
it's dark magic.
Okay, but I don't think he's opposed to dark magic.
I think he is.
Interesting.
When has Dumbledore used dark magic?
I don't know. I just would assume because like his history, right? Like
I
it
think there
was
was
literally
probably a
the
point in time when he wasn't opposed to dark magic, but after he killed his sister,
yeah, well that would make sense. I don't know. I guess I just assumed.
yeah, I think he's anti dark magic.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Do you think that part of the reason why Dumbledore pulled away from Grindelwald is because he found out Grindelwald was after Horcruxes, and that's why he knows so much about Horcruxes?
Ooh, I have never once thought about that. And I don't think that's the case.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think Grindelwald was going for Horcruxes. Grindelwald and Dumbledore were obsessed with the Hallows.
Yeah, but if there's that story in there for Tales of Beetles and Bards, which is one of the main things that they were using, like it wouldn't be too far off. And if Grindelwald wasn't powerful enough to split his own soul, the wand would be powerful enough himself itself.
What do you mean if he wasn't powerful enough to split his own soul? Literally, all you have to do is kill someone to split your soul.
Well, no, it even says in the wiki fandom of Horcruxes, it says that you could still like try to split your soul, but if you're not powerful enough to like direct it, it's not gonna work. That's why only two wizards have ever done it.
My
Otherwise,
understanding
everyone would
is
be
that
splitting
when
their
you
soul.
kill someone, your soul splits, but only two wizards have isolated their soul to put it in a Horcrux.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can't control your soul afterwards. Only some can. So um like Grindelwald, like if he wasn't powerful enough to like control it, then he could at least like use the wand to isolate it. Does that make sense?
I mean,
I
I
don't know. It was a
guess.
theory that I had. I didn't read that one. I just came up with it on my own.
I doubt he was going for Horcruxes. I mean, he did want to be Master of Death, So same vein, you know. But to be Master of Death, like I feel like they gravitated toward the Hallows because it's like not as gross.
Yeah, I wonder if she had like a different way of ending the book. Like if the Horcruxes played a lot more, and then when she finally came to it, they were like,
You want my honest opinion of Horcruxes?
yes.
I think that J.K. Rowling wrote books 1, 2, and 3. Okay, here's what I know. I know she wrote books 1, 2, and 3, and then she wrote book 7. So it was like she needed, I think she was grasping for ways to connect the first 3 books to the last book. Like, how do I make these relevant? Because they've been 3 standalone stories that have created a series.
Okay.
They weren't like continuous things. It was just how do I connect them? So the things that she grabbed from each of them is that like she made the snitch relevant from Harry Potter 1, how that's like holding the resurrection stone.
Yeah.
And I think she's like, oh, like this diary could be more relevant. So let's just make it so Voldemort has 5 more of these,
Hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like it all does connect and stuff, but like it feels more like an afterthought than a forethought. Like I
Yeah.
don't think she was, I think her whole, okay, here's another thing I know. The Harry Potter series was created because she was sitting on a train one time and she imagined a dirty little boy sitting on a train by himself and she thought what would be his story.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's where it started. So then she started writing about how this kid like lived with abusive aunt and uncle and then gave him a way out through magic and then like it just kind of went from there. Like I don't think she thought like, oh, here's a bad guy who's putting his soul into objects.
Okay, but would you still have the same love that you have for Harry Potter now if it had just ended at book number 3?
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying that she was planning on 7 books. So
Yeah.
she got through number 3 and then was like, "Oh, this whole story needs to go somewhere. It can't just be 7 standalone stories."
Yeah.
So that's why books 4, 5, 6, and 7 all feel more like a continuous story. But what I'm saying is she had to make the other ones relevant.
Yeah.
She had to shoehorn 1, 2, and 3 as part of this continuous story.
I also wonder if that's also why Horcruxes hasn't been like a huge forefront on her mind, because she's like, I didn't realize how many plot holes I had until like all these people love my story so much they have all these questions about it. So then she has to like figure out a way to like defend it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's making more sense.
Yeah, I mean in number 5, book 5, she destroyed all the time turners because she was sick of people being like, why don't they just use time turners?
Yeah, but then she goes and allows Cursed Child to be made, and I'm like, what a load of crock.
Yeah, I Cursed Child is not a real book.
Yeah, I have a real issue with it. First of all, Harry grew up without his father. There's no way he would be a bad dad. And he grew up in an abusive home. Like, and his wife is Ginny, and you think that he would be a bad dad? Come on.
Yeah, no, there's way too many plot holes in it. And the number one plot hole is the fact that they can change time with a time turner. Because in Harry Potter 3, they don't change anything by going back in time. They just fulfill what's already happened. It's a
Yeah.
continuous timeline. They don't create a break in the timeline. Otherwise, Harry and Sirius would have died and they wouldn't have been able to go back to cast the Patronus in the first place.
Yeah, like it makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a whole different beast, though. Go watch our Back to the Future episode.
Is that the one that we did it on?
The time travel, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what? I guess honestly, go back to any of our episodes. We'll talk about Harry Potter.
Seriously, yeah.
Okay, I did read this. It's a theory that um when Harry died in book 7, that it wasn't the Horcrux that saved him. It was the fact that Voldemort used his blood to bring him back. And then that blood, since the blood still technically was living, his soul also had an anchor. Sort of like a Horcrux, but not a Horcrux.
Yeah, that's not a theory. That's in the book.
That's not a theory. I always thought
Yeah.
it was I always thought it was a Horcrux. Sort of like a
You always thought it was a Horcrux?
yeah, yeah. I always thought the Horcrux was like the way like the get out of jail free card, get out of purgatory free card
No, so the Horcrux inside Harry dies. You know?
instantly. Yeah,
Well,
but then
it's
doesn't
not
Harry
instant,
also
it's
die?
suffering. Yeah, Harry does also die. But he's at the King's Cross station and he gets to pick whether he lives or whether he dies. But Dumbledore explains to him at King's Cross that it was because Voldemort used Harry's blood that Harry has the choice.
Wait, why don't they explain that in the movie?
Why don't they explain anything in the movie?
Okay, I didn't know that.
There's so much from the books that they don't explain in the movie. Like I feel like they didn't even explain like wand ownership well enough in the movie.
Well, because the wand itself, the Elder Wand, is like a almost like a frame of mind, like it transfers from wand to wand, right?
From owner to owner, yeah.
Not actual physical wand. It can be physical, right? But
It
technically,
is
isn't
okay,
Drake?
it is a physical wand. Draco was the one who cast Expelliarmus on Dumbledore, thus making Draco the owner of the Elder Wand from that point forward.
But he
And
doesn't have the physical wand.
but he doesn't have the physical wand, but the wand still recognizes Draco.
Oh,
And then Harry
oh.
straight up steals Draco's wand. So now the wand recognizes Harry.
So even though Voldemort was holding the wand in his hand, it like didn't recognize him. It just acted as a regular wand.
Yeah,
Oh.
its loyalty wasn't for Voldemort. And
I,
Voldemort never like cracked the Elder Wand. It didn't like, yeah, there's a whole lot of crap.
I will say one of the things that I do remember in the book, because I read it so long ago, I should really reread it. One of the things that I do remember is that Harry fixes his old wand with the Elder Wand because it can't be beaten, and then he breaks the Elder Wand.
Nope.
What?
He fixes his wand and he never breaks the Elder Wand. He puts it back in Dumbledore's grave. And he plans on never being disarmed and dying a peaceful life.
Well, they should have done that.
They
What
should
the
have.
heck?
They should have at least had Harry fix his wand, at the very least.
Yeah, they should have. Interesting, because if Harry ever got disarmed, he'd have to go kill that dude whoever disarmed him.
You don't have to kill him, you just have to disarm him.
He just like hands him like a baby wand. Can you just hold that really quick for just a second?
Well, I assume if Harry ever gets his wand back in any shape or way or form or whatever, then he's good to go. Because when Harry stole Draco's wand, he didn't give it back to Draco. That's what he fought Voldemort with, was Draco's wand.
Okay, that makes sense.
At the end of book 7, Harry was using Draco's wand.
So it doesn't really matter which wand you use, you just have to make sure you don't lose it.
You just have to make sure you don't lose ownership of it.
So does he just keep Draco's wand the rest of his life?
No, I assume that he probably gives it back. But like at that point, like Draco's not disarming Harry. Harry's just giving him his wand back.
Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah, they should have explained that.
Yeah, go read the books.
I mean, I did. It was just so long ago. All right. I think I have one more thing for you because we
You're
sort
like
of
not
like
pulling up any theories that I've like heard of. You're in some dark corner of the web that's like messed up.
I don't even know. You said study for the episodes. I studied for the episode. So like here's the thing, guys, right? I like Harry Potter. Caleb obviously has like way more knowledge than me. So when he was like study for the episode, I was like, okay, I gotta go to where he is. But apparently I went beyond it. There was no like marker of where to stop.
Reason. I'm mostly talking about your Radagast the Gray.
Oh yeah.
your maggot spell guy. I'm like, that's just that's hogwash.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he pulled it from. I did like look it
It's
up to
on the
be
Harry
like,
Potter fandom wiki, but like I don't know.
the thing is, like, J.K. Rowling wrote this forever ago, and she's given so many interviews, so many things that it's like it's hard to find the original source.
Well, it's probably Pottermore.
Probably, but
But
I
they've got rid
don't.
of Pottermore. They've only kept a few things from Pottermore on the Wizarding World website as like J.K. Rowling archives.
I know, which is so stupid. Okay, I looked up because I was curious how many people. We already sort of discussed how many people have done a Horcrux. But I was gonna just read you about. I was gonna tell you a little bit about Herpo the Fowl.
Okay. Where did this
So
come from?
the fandom, Wiki fandom. And then they had an actual source. It said Magica something evil. I don't remember.
What?
Just look it up.
Okay, I'll look it up while you're talking about it.
Okay, so it says a brief history of the Horcrux. The only known wizard to have created a Horcrux was Herpo the Fowl, an evil Greek wizard of ancient times. Interestingly, he was the first to create the basilisk by hatching a chicken egg under a toad, and also the earliest known parcel mouse, a powerful wizard who practiced the dark arts. He was the first wizard ever to have created a Horcrux. And based on the fact that he was the inventor of several horrendous curses and hexes, it is possible that he was the one to have discovered the method of creating the Horcrux. Herpo the Fowl. No, okay, so it's Anelli, Melissa, John No, Sue Upton, Pottercast interviews J.K. Rowling, Part 1. 17 December 2007.
So it's from
So
some
is it
obscure.
is it is it an interview with J.K. Rowling? I told you that most of this stuff, I swear, is coming from interviews that you have to like search on YouTube on like the 17th page or something.
That's what I'm saying. You're in some obscure corner of the internet.
You told me to do my homework, and now I'm teaching you, and I don't even know what I'm teaching you.
That's the thing. It's all just like random junk. Okay, this is more what I was wanting you to like come across, like the whole idea of like, oh, Harry's a Horcrux. No, he's not. Let's talk about that.
I, you're wanting me to ask questions like, why is the sky blue? Got it. Why did he
Did
pick?
you know that Harry wasn't a Horcrux?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. Okay.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
Here's another question. Okay, go ahead, and I'll ask you a question.
Why did he pick what he picked for his
That's
Horcruxes?
exactly what I was going to talk about. Why didn't he just pick a penny and then throw it? Or why doesn't he pick a rock and throw it off a boat in the middle of the ocean?
Okay, so I read about that. And I said if he ever died, he needed to find it. So that's why he didn't do that.
Okay. I think it goes a lot deeper than that.
Okay, then tell me.
Okay. I think that you have to also personally connect with your Horcrux.
Oh.
So you could pick a penny. Like, for instance, I have a silver dollar from Grandpa Milo.
Mm-hmm.
I could pick that because it's like a specific coin that like has meaning. And like if I like memorize the serial number or whatever, it could
Well, not
work.
anymore. You told everyone.
People don't know the serial number. Good luck collecting every silver dollar. Also, there's only 2 people that watch our video. Maybe I'll just eat their heart for my Horcrux.
Hey, that's my husband.
Yeah, I would never make a Horcrux. That's gross.
Yeah,
Icky.
gross, gross, gross. So you're just saying that because of all the significance between all of them and his like connection to it.
Yeah, so name the Horcruxes.
Okay, we got Harry. Just kidding. The diary.
Yeah, his
It's
own
his diary.
personal
It's his
diary,
diary. The ring.
which was
Regulus's,
Regulus is younger than him.
which was the Black family.
Yeah. I don't know how to say the family's name. It's like Peveril or Peveril. I go Peveril.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, because he's descended of the Peverils, who are the owners of the Hallows. He had no idea it was a Hallow. He just knew it was an heirloom ring from the Gaunt family, not the Black family. So the ring,
Then the necklace.
well, but the ring is important to him because it's an heirloom.
Okay.
And then the necklace is also an heirloom, and it comes from Slytherin.
Okay, now I know the others. The diadem,
The diadem is what?
Ravenclaw,
Ravenclaw. It's an artifact of Ravenclaw. And then what?
Hufflepuff,
What was it?
the cup.
Hufflepuff's cup. And then what was the Horcrux he was going to make after killing Harry?
I don't know.
The Sword of Gryffindor.
No freaking way! He was gonna do it on the Sword of Gryffindor?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
That's the prevailing theory anyway. There used to also be a theory that it would have been the Sorting Hat because that was also Gryffindor's.
I didn't know the Sorting Hat was Gryffindor's.
Mhm.
I assumed he would be Slytherin. He's snarky enough.
Right. Well, Godric and Salazar were best friends.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I really like the idea. Okay, so in Cursed Child, sorry, I know this doesn't really have to do with Horcruxes, but in the Cursed Child. Okay, so in Cursed Child, his son becomes best friends with the Slytherin. And
As
I
his
love
son is
that.
a Slytherin.
Well, yeah, but I sort of love that. Like Draco's son and Harry's son being besties. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
I personally don't think that Harry's kids would have been in Slytherin.
Even if they were in Slytherin, I feel like Slytherin would have needed a facelift, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's got to be good Slytherins throughout history, and like not all of them are bad, especially since
Merlin.
like, see, so like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's good to have ambition, but it can also mean you have a good heart. Like, there's got to be like, I would love to like follow a story of a Slytherin falling in love with a Hufflepuff. Like that'd be cute.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a whole different subject.
Yeah, sorry guys, I got distracted. Just a whole
No,
world of Harry Potter.
I'm saying I could go down it. I will just briefly say I will just briefly say I hate that the world at large thinks that Slytherin and Hufflepuff are the best. You're not supposed to think that.
Ilvermorny, that's the best.
Thunderbird.
Ah!
Were you a
Okay.
Thunderbird?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, cool.
Porter's a Pudgewudgie.
I thought Porter was a Thunderbird too.
Maybe he is. Maybe I'm just throwing him under the bus.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
what's his last Horcrux though?
I don't know. His nose.
No, it's Nagini.
Quirrell. Oh, Nagini. That's right.
Yeah. And I think so I could be getting this entirely wrong, but from what I remember, after his soul was just existing as a soul after Harry beat him, he
Hmm.
fled to um Romania, maybe. Yeah, Romania, Armenia, somewhere over there, Eastern Europe, and he basically lived. Oh wait, no, that's how Quirrell found him. Quirrell found him over there. Anyway, after the whole Quirrell thing, then he was like living in Nagini, basically.
Is that why Nagini and him are so close?
I think so.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
So he like became attached to Nagini, and then he still had this idea of needing seven, his soul split into seven pieces. So at that time, he only had five Horcruxes. He didn't realize that part of his soul was already in Harry. So then he created another Horcrux in Nagini.
Oh. Oh. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Real talk. If Horcruxes weren't gross, what would your Horcrux be?
Oh, if they weren't gross and I didn't have to eat anybody?
Yeah.
Oh.
If it was just abracadabra and then you have brief immortality, but you can only have one.
And if you have an answer, can you go first? Because I got to think about it. I wasn't prepared.
I don't have an answer. I just thought about it right now. Maybe this Nerf sword right here.
Ooh.
No, I would do that. I have no personal connection to it.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe I would do my ring, like my wedding ring. But then again, like where would I hide it? Because like that's the biggest thing is everyone gets after Voldemort for his hiding spots. But to be honest, Gringotts was like the best place to hide something. And like they got in lickety split.
That's true. Well, and that's the other thing. Like, we don't know the full spell surrounding it. Like, the hiding spot might be important.
As to where he puts it.
Yeah, but I don't know because his diary was just in the Malfoy's house. Well, I guess the other thing is he had to have people aware of where they were so he could come back if need be.
I guess maybe I would like pick like a random tree in the forest where I knew the exact coordinates. And then I would like cut a notch in the tree and then shove the ring in, and then it would grow over it.
Mm,
But then at least I knew where the tree is. But then in theory, if 600 years down the road the tree dies, then all of a sudden it's just in the dirt. So that's not like the best spot. But that's like the same theory for anything, right? Like how many years can a place last?
yeah, I think the best hiding spot was the diadem.
In the room requirement, I agree.
Yeah.
And I know that like technically because Harry isn't technically a Horcrux, like he probably wouldn't have been able to find it if he wasn't able to like hear it.
So that's a movie thing.
Only movie thing, how was he able to
Yeah.
find it?
Uh through his thoughts. His thoughts are connected to Voldemort. And after okay, read the books.
I know why he chose like I know the story of the diadem, but like
No,
how he
I
found
know,
it.
but I'm telling you how he knows. So in book 6, Dumbledore shows Harry so many memories. It's like a fat chunk of the book.
Just because he
So
wants to or because he's getting
no,
weak?
because it's important but for the Horcruxes. So he shows him uh they take a field trip to the coast and Voldemort as a young kid, since he can like kind of control his magic, it's before he goes to Hogwarts. He takes these other kids to that cave where he hides the locket. Like the only way to get into that cave is through magic.
Hmm.
So like Dumbledore like shows him that and he's like, I think this is the location of a Horcrux kind of thing. Um he like so he's like showing him he's collected a ton of memories and the memory that he needs the most is Slughorn straight up saying like teaching him what a Horcrux is. So like that's what takes so long in book 6. Dumbledore already has a pretty solid hunch, not just a hunch of what the Horcruxes are, but where they are. Because also in the memories, you see Voldemort's uncle and his grandpa Marvolo, and that's where you see the ring. And like Dumbledore's like, I have this ring here. See, he's like, I found it in this hut that they used to live in, and also he's like, see that necklace? It was uh Slytherin's necklace kind of thing, you know? So
Hmm.
he's showing him all these things, and then he shows him a memory of this lady named Hepzibah. I think that's her name. I don't know if she's Hepzibah Hufflepuff or if she has a different last name, but she's a descendant of Hufflepuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically him schmoozing her for the cup. So Dumbledore is putting these things together and he doesn't know exactly what piece of Ravenclaw Voldemort got his hands on, but the main missing piece, like the main missing relic of Ravenclaw, is the diadem. So Harry has an idea that there's a diadem of Ravenclaw out there. Okay,
Okay.
and then you fast forward to book 7. He kills the locket, and then he kills the cup.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or he steals the cup at least. He just steals the cup. So then Voldemort at that moment is like, oh shoot, they know about my Horcruxes. Like as far as Voldemort knows, the diary was a freak accident for Harry killing the diary.
Yeah.
That wasn't hunted down or anything. And then he doesn't realize that the locket has been taken or destroyed. So he like finds out about the cup, and Harry's connected to him through thoughts. So he like knows, like he can like see what's going on for Voldemort. And then Voldemort immediately thinks of the locket, and then he thinks of Hogwarts. Like he thinks of the cave, and then he thinks of Hogwarts. So Harry's like, "Oh, the last one has to be a Hogwarts." So they find their way to Hogwarts, and like, um, he like does the whole thing with the ghost, like talks to her about like the diadem and whatnot, you know. But
Hmm.
like all this time, he's like also connected to Voldemort's thoughts, and like in Voldemort's thoughts, he sees the diadem on a gargoyle, and he just happened to hide his potions book in the room of requirement, and he he actually might have grabbed the diadem and put it on the gargoyle, and he's just remembering the diadem, and he's like, that's the freaking crown that I put on the gargoyle to remember where my potion book is.
Oh wow. So he had already come across it.
Yeah, by accident. So he just saw it in Voldemort's thoughts, and he's like, oh frick, that's it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's not like some magnet for Horcruxes.
Okay. I wish that would sort of been funny to have like the crown on the gargoyle.
Yeah. Well, and he did that so you go find his potion book later.
See, this is what I'm talking about. In the series, they might do it where they do like the like in the like sort of what they're doing for Percy Jackson, how they're making like one book into a series.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm sort of excited about it. I'm hoping that they dive deeper into it.
I feel like I could do a whole episode on my hopes and dreams for the series,
Let's do it.
especially since I'm reading the books right now.
Yeah.
I just decided to pick them up. So did you decide what your Horcrux would be? Just your
Yeah, my
wedding
wedding
ring?
ring. I think
Just
it
your
would be
wedding
my
ring?
well, am I supposed to pick seven or just one?
No, just one.
100% my wedding ring because I love it the most and I have the biggest connection to it. And also, if I were to be remembered, I'd want it to be remembered for my awesome style of my wedding ring. And I think I would hide it in like the foundation of either like our first home or the place that we got married or in a tree, like I said, in McCall, Idaho.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's actually a
Those
good
would be
point.
my
I could find some sort of like scout paraphernalia.
like if you found like a sapling, a tree that you know is going to live for hundreds of years, then you just like in the root, you know?
Yeah, I would since I would be a wizard, I would put it in a rock and then like repair the rock with magic.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, also one of the things too is like he with the necklace in the cave, he had spells to protect it. So I think I would also have like booby traps.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Whereas like the Gringotts one, the ones where he gave to people to have a hold of, there was no spells around it.
Well, there might have been. So, um, I think Lucius actually got the diary from Borgin and Burke's, the shop in Nocturne Alley that Harry shows up in with Flue powder.
Really? Why? But doesn't he purposely place it in Harry's pail?
Yeah, just listen. So
Okay.
Voldemort, that was his first job, was working at Borgin and Burke's.
Mm.
And I'm pretty sure he stored his diary there, and I'm pretty sure Lucius purchased it later after Voldemort was gone. And then
Oh.
Lucius only got rid of it because the ministry was raiding people's houses if they got wind that they had dark artifacts. And he had like a hidden room of dark artifacts, so he just like got rid of it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but then when Harry and Ron were under Polyjuice Potion, they found out about this room of dark artifacts, and then they told um, Arthur about it, and the Weasleys got in trouble.
The Weasleys did?
Sorry, the Malfoys did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sorry, that was a slip of the tongue.
That's okay. I clarified.
Yeah, so he hid that one at Borgin and Burke's because like it had personal meaning. He hid the ring at the hut because it had personal meaning. He hid the locket in the cave because it had personal meaning. He hid the diadem at the requirement because Hogwarts has personal meaning, which he actually hit it there. People think that he hit it there during his interview to be the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, but Dumbledore wouldn't give it to him.
Oh,
And then he put a
wow.
curse on the position, and that's why there's a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher every year.
Wow.
Yeah. And then J.K. Rowling makes Harry a freaking wizard cop instead of the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. Like he should have been the first Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher to hold the position longer than a year since Voldemort put a curse on it. Because
Well, they said,
he's the antithesis of Voldemort, so he should have been the teacher.
yeah, I agree. Or he could be retired teacher. Maybe he just didn't want to teach his kids.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. The cup in Gringotts, there's like no real connection there other than with Bellatrix.
Yeah, I read that they just like have like a long-standing history, the Lestranges and
Probably.
and Voldemort's family, and so he was just like the pure blood, like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So those are Horcruxes. I never even picked what my Horcrux would be.
Yeah.
I
What
want
is your Horcrux?
I want it to be like a Lego, but it's too hard to pick just like one Lego, and I can't pick a Lego set because that's too easily destroyed. I'm just like looking around here. I don't know. My chair that Grandpa made me might be cool.
Yeah, that thing's indestructible.
It truly is. Yeah, that might
I
be a good one.
I don't know. I guess it's interesting. Like what in our life brings value enough to like stand as a talisman for you, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I could pick my wedding ring too, but I feel like that's like such an obvious choice, and also I wouldn't want to have to hide my wedding ring.
Yeah, I guess that's true too. Like all of a sudden my wedding ring would be gone and Preston would be like, what happened? I'd be like, okay, I know I'm on a new diet. Let me tell you what it is.
Yucky.
Yucky. Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of interesting. Maybe my favorite book.
Harry Potter book.
You just throw it in a bookstore.
My Harry
Like,
Potter book has my third grade cursive handwriting of my name in it, and then like mom and dad's phone number and like the address just in case I lost it.
oh, you
Yeah,
were cute.
still am.
I don't think any of my books have my name in it. Oh.
Have you heard the theory about how J.K. Rowling has Horcruxes?
No, that's funny.
Yeah, she has Horcruxes, and it's 7 of them, and each book is a Horcrux.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, because she killed Sirius, Dumbledore, Fred. I think they count Snape too. Uh, maybe they don't count Snape because I think it's James or no.
Well, let's go through the books. Number one, who died? Harry's parents?
Well, I don't think there's a death in each book that they count because who died at number 2? I don't think anyone died at number 2.
Yeah, I don't think you're right. Yeah, I think
Most
you're
of the
right.
killings were in number 7.
Wow. Well, okay, so maybe just number seven. Okay, so Snape,
Okay,
Lavender Brown.
but Sirius is the I know for a fact that Sirius like the Horcrux killings that people think are Sirius, um, Dumbledore, Hedwig, Dobby, Fred. Those are ones that I know for sure. So then it's is it Lupin? Is it Tonks? Is it Lavender Brown? Is it James? Is it Lily? Is it Cedric? Oh, I think Cedric actually is one of them.
Oh, weird. I've never heard this theory, but that is interesting. She does kill off a lot of characters.
Yeah,
But I do like that she doesn't shy away from it. I feel like you still get a happy ending, even though there's death in it.
I hate it. It's a kid's book. Fred shouldn't die. Kill Percy. He sucks.
Yeah, Percy should have died.
Did we do a good job going deep or
Are you asking me or the audience?
both?
I don't know. You guys have to tell us.
I don't know. It started off in a whole different direction than I thought.
That's my bad.
Okay. I think that's gonna be it for Horcruxes. If you have any questions about them, put them in the comments, or you can just DM us on Instagram.
Or you could call us.
Yeah, because everyone who watches this has our phone number, I'm pretty sure.
Or you could just tell me over dinner because you like me.
Or you could just text us so you don't have to see us or go all the way to the East Coast.
Or you could send me a pigeon.
An owl.
Oh, I
And
missed the
his
part I'm
name
reading.
is Pigwidgeon.
All right, guys. For realsies, let us know how you like this episode. Let us know if you want more of the deep dive. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
Wow.
Nerd.